Welcome to Terris Todd, please.
Well, praise the Lord, everyone. I'm sure I could say that. I'm amongst the believers. I'm just here to announce that God is still on the throne, as we all know. Yes, sir. Absolutely. He's still on the throne. He's aware of everything that's going on around this nation and the world, of course. But again, like he said, my name is Terris Todd. I am your ethnic vice chair. I was voted in as your vice chair back in February, actually February 11th, at the state convention. And I want to say thank those of you who actually voted for me and thank those of you who did not as well. God bless you anyhow. My background is pretty extensive, so but the challenge is that they gave this preacher only 8 minutes. So, you know, that's kind of a challenge for me, being a minister of the gospel, but truly a blessing and honor to be here with you tonight. I'm not going to be before you long, but I also want to thank your chair and everyone who actually had taken part in putting this awesome dinner together tonight. So let's give you guys a round of applause, please. Very good. Thank you very much. When I found out I was on the roster to speak, I was just so touched. I'm like, oh, wow, because I remember I actually attended a St. Clair County a meeting, an executive meeting, and I gave him my name. I'm like, sure. So I'm thinking I'm one of the backup guys or something like that. Well, then I found out later that I'm actually on the roster to come and speak before you. So I was very touched because I have the gift of gab. So you guys got to, it should be somebody in the back with the red card or the green card or the 5-minute mark or whatever. So, but anyway, we'll do our best. Just real quick, I want to assure you that on behalf of our party leadership, that you guys are safe, that we are still in the right party, that our values still are holding near and dear to what we believe in this country. We still believe in God. We still believe in our faith, our family, and our freedoms. We still believe that we are the party with the big tent, and under that big tent, we have a lot of wonderful people, wonderful Bible principled people who truly believe that this is the greatest nation on earth known to man. I am really touched because as I made my journey, as some of you may know my background, I haven't always been on this side of the aisle. But one day the Lord told me back in 2012 that I need to take another look, simply because whenever someone has trouble with putting God into their platform, they're no friend of mine, because only what you do for Christ will last. And so in 2012, when Dems had struggled with putting God into their platform, I said, oh, wait a minute, time out. So then I had to do a reassessment. I had to do some soul searching because, again, how I even started this journey, for the most part, I was actually called up. So I didn't belong to any party at that time. I was called up to fill a seat of a gentleman in Calhoun County who was getting married and moving out of the district. And so me being born and raised in the city of Battle Creek, I actually took that on because I wanted to basically give back to my community. So that's how I started on that journey. It wasn't that Dems were so great and you guys were so horrible, or Republicans were so horrible. It was just simply an opportunity to serve my community. But then again, along the way, I found out, something's wrong here. And so when I ran for state representative in 2014, it was interesting because as I'm in some of the meetings and I'm having these interviews with different people for endorsements, they said, man, you sound Republican. I said, is that right? I said, why you say that? He said, well, because you talk about your faith and God. And I said, wow, really? So then when I spoke with my bishop, Bishop Hugh Daniel Smith Jr., over at Embassy Covenant Church International in the city of Troy, my bishop flat out told me, he said, Todd, this is what the Lord said. And it just confirmed everything that I had felt back in 2012. And when my bishop laid the word on me that God said, this is where you belong, this is where he's called you to be, I teared up. I actually literally cried because it was truly like a weight lifted off of my shoulders. I felt that burden lift, and some of you know what I'm talking about. And so I am home. I am truly blessed and honored to be a Republican. I'm truly blessed and honored of the Lord to be with you, to be with good Christian folks. And I'm standing strong on my faith, and it's powerful because when I ended up in the State House of Reps with my state representative, Dr. John Bizon, he took a chance with me. When he won the election in 2014, he asked me to go to Lansing with him to serve in his office, and I was there faithfully for 9 months. And then I got a call from Community Action of South Central Michigan to fill the position that I'm in now. I'm the director of Head Start and Early Head Start programs for 3 different counties in South Central Michigan, Berry, Calhoun, and also St. Joseph County. And so, but in the meantime, those of you who know Representative Bison, he's in a district that was not favorable for him to win. And so some people want to know, well, what was the formula? Well, the formula was that he came and got a guy like myself. Another part of the formula was a gentleman by the name of Dave Morgan, who was also a former Dem. He was actually the county party chair. And because when I made my switch and he realized that his values did line up more so over here, he's like, wait a minute, something's wrong. So when Bison had run, the first thing that I did is took him to church. Took him to church. I introduced him to all the pastors that I was connected to. And as God is my witness and your witness, ladies and gentlemen, because we built relationships from the ground level on, I actually had African-American pastors in the city of Battle Creek come out publicly and endorse our state representative, who's a Republican, for the first time in history. And as a result of that, he was reelected for a second term to the House of Representatives in a district that he was not favored to win, and by a candidate that was very reputable in that community. And so one of the things that we must do, we must stick true to our values. You cannot veer to the left or to the right. Stick to our platform. Our platform is all laid out. It's laid out. We're not afraid to put God into our platform. God is there. And in specific, it says that should man or the courts, should man's law or the courts come in conflict with that which is God-given, all right, and natural, if our laws come in conflict with that which is God, then guess what? God prevails. Isn't that a beautiful thing? So absolutely. So not one pastor can argue with that. So when I share the platform, here it is. As a matter of fact, one of the pastors that endorsed Representative Bison came out and called me. He said, Todd, he said, man, listen. He said, the Republican Party platform is more biblically principled than anything. I said, brother, you're absolutely right, and I thank God that you called me to tell me that. That confirmed that I was on the right path. And then as a result, I had been here officially in 2015. The Lord had told me on August 1st, 2015, to hit that submit button, and that's when I became an official Republican Party member. And so in February, again, you guys elected me to be your ethnic vice chair, so I'm going coast to coast. I was in Grand Rapids last night at a town hall meeting there to speak out against tax reform and stuff like that. And now I'm here tonight, and then tomorrow night I'm in the city of Albion at their NACP Freedom Fund banquet. As a matter of fact, I'm a former NACP president for Battle Creek. And guess what else we did in Calhoun County? We showed up to a Juneteenth celebration. We had a booth. We got on stage. I took the microphone. We donated money to some local youth to send them to their national convention. Another thing we had done, we showed up to a back-to-school event. Matter of fact, we were invited to a back-to-school event in the city of Battle Creek, and we were the only ones there. So we pitched our tent, and we gave out free school supplies to those children in the inner city Battle Creek. Republican Party had a tent, no dim in sight. How does that happen? Because we built the relationship from the ground up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in a time where, again, I said it once and I'll say it again, we're in a time where it's about good versus evil. And I thank God because we're the party with the big tent, right? So I'm truly believing that under that tent, we have a bunch of good people doing great things. So my message to you is never be afraid to go into uncharted territory, because we are still the party of Lincoln. We're still the party who believes in true freedom for everybody. We're still the party that believes in freedom from all people, not being taxed to death, taxed out of business. We're still the party that believes that a child has a right, or a parent has a right, to choose where to send their child to school. That's some crazy stuff. People don't understand how, if you talk about racist, that's racist. Where there was a time where my folks, my ancestors didn't get a choice. And yet they don't want us to have a choice, but we're the party that believes in choice. And see, professionally, I'm an educator, so I can speak to that. And I'm also a school of choice kid too. So that's a beautiful thing, because I can speak from multiple different platforms, having worked in the public school district for almost 15 years. So ladies and gentlemen, we have the right formula. We have the right tools. We have the right message. It's getting out there and making things happen. And I thank God because I've been able, on my journey, I have fruit on the tree as well. I've been able to also bring people into the party. There's a gentleman in Wayne County. He works for Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. He called me up. I met with him in Ann Arbor. Go Blue, by the way. I met with him in Ann Arbor at a Buffalo Wild Wings. And we sat and I talked about our platform. And he said, I truly believe that my values line up with the Republican Party. And as God is my witness and your witness as well, when I went and visited over in Wayne County, he's active in their party. There's another gentleman originally from New Jersey. He's over in Ingham County. As a matter of fact, he did an internship with Schuette's office. Called me up. He said, I want to meet with you. I invited him out to an event over in the city of Detroit. I met with him face to face, and guess what? As a result, when I showed up to Clinton County and Ingham County's Lincoln Day dinner, that gentleman, I saw Miss Janelle Leonard. Actually, she was lining him up. I saw that African-American gentleman in the lineup, and he's active in their party as well. Those two gentlemen have actually come into the party because I simply sat down with them and met with them and said, this is our platform. They're two awesome men of God, and I'm thanking God because I can now say that as your ethnic vice chair, you got to have fruit on the tree, and I'm thankful to the Lord that I was able to bring those folks in. So that's what this thing is all about. That's what I'm all about, going state or coast to coast all over the state, sending this message out to everybody all over that we are truly the party of true freedom for all people. God bless you guys very much. I thank you so much for letting me speak. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I look forward to joining you guys some other time. Thank you.
Thank you, Terris.